Yo, what's up, gamers? What's up, everyone? How's everyone doing? Welcome. Weird time to stream, I know, but I felt like it, so that's it. Yeah, dude, the Mario 64 music, I love it, man. Dire Dire Docks, Jolly Roger Bay, it's some of the greatest music. You love Rust? Nice, Galaxy Tab 7. It's cool. I think Rust is pretty alright, too. We'll be writing some today. Good evening from a sunny Netherlands. That is super cool, dude. Welcome. Good evening from a sunny United States. It's a little bit too sunny. I don't have enough blinds. Like, that window just like, it looks like heaven over there. So, yeah, that's wild. Yeah, I'll probably jump in here in like a minute. See what's going on. I'll be picking up where I left off from last night's stream. So, if you guys haven't seen it, we are building a like event server program in Rust, server and then eventually a client to go with it. It's similar to like syslog or something like that. Basically, it's just a really simple HTTP interface that you can post events to, and then you can get those events back. And events are just an arbitrary JSON object with like a severity level, a human readable message, and like a timestamp. That's basically it. So my idea is that all of my servers and computers around my house can post events to the server, like garage door open, motion detected, backup finish, things like that. So that's kind of my goal. Let me do this real quick. Hello from Belgium? Dude, that's awesome, man. Welcome. I have to log into my one server over here real quick. My backup stopped working, and I gotta figure out why. Uptime. 13 days. That'll do it. ZFS key loaded. Awesome. This computer keeps rebooting. I gotta figure that out. Oh well. Not right now. That's not an activity for stream. Hello from your secret bunker. Welcome. Yeah, dude. That bunker is oof. It's a very small area if you haven't noticed. Sidebars and escape sequences. Dude, that's so weird, man. I'm still not over that. That's super strange. I feel like Bad Cop could actually do something fun with those ANSI escape codes. I don't know how many terminals support it, but iTerm 2 definitely does. In the 90s for the UK Heatwise right now. Hey, thank you for translating that to Fahrenheit for me. I appreciate that. That's awesome. Yeah, oh man, dude, I feel bad for my UK brothers and sisters, especially because you guys over there are crazy, and you guys are like, we don't need air conditioning. We just take an ice cube and put it in front of a fan, and we blow it. I'm like, dude, get air conditioning, man. I get it. I get some of the communal concerns of, you know, opening up my windows and being connected to my, you know, my community, and that's wonderful. Until the heat gets too high, and it's like, bro, just turn on the AC, man. Can we get AC in here? Dude, I got the air conditioner on. I just don't want it turned on because it's right there. And that's my only concern, is it might be too loud. So I'm actually a little bit warm right now, but I'm okay. I don't mind being like this hot. I presume it depends on the project, but in general, do you prefer Rust or C? Depends on the project. Like, literally depends on the project. Because of this one with JSON and HTTP and stuff, I'm going for Rust. I just have a lot of easier things I can use for this. I mean, in the bunker. You don't have to worry. The bunker's pretty deep underground, so it's actually pretty cool down there. All right, let's pull up the main layout here. Look at that. We got the work from last night. And we got our leaderboard for people on Twitch. So we can see Bad Cop is at the top. She is on top of redeeming the first, second, third awards. Oh, there we go. Look at that score, 26. Nice job. Oh man, good evening from a tropical Netherlands. Dude, it's awesome. It's great to hear. I love that people just come in from all over. I think that's super cool. If only there was a way to do HTTP and Bash. Dude, I know, for real. God, someone needs to do that. Two people need to come together and make the perfect solution. Alright. Let's pull up the code. Actually, Bad Copy may be interested in this. We were messing around with this last night. Was it in here? Do we have them? Yeah. Here we go. Look at this. These escape sequences are gnarly. So you can echo -ne the escape sequence 9 semicolon 4 semicolon and then a number. So we're going to put 1 here. And then let's say 50% progress. And then we close it with the bell character. So if you do this, let's single quotes. Yeah, there we go. Now we have a progress bar in the top part of this terminal that's 50% of the way through. How weird is that? I didn't know this existed. This is crazy. Let's make the progress bar go to 75. There we go. Oh, progress is back down to 25. I could make that like a battery status for my computer. That'd be kind of funny. 100%. Yay, we did it. And then I think, was 2 the warning? Yeah, so 2 is the same thing, but it's red instead of green because it's like the warning indicator. And then I think there was 3 for indeterminate progress good and 4 for indeterminate progress bad. Or no, 4 takes a number? That's so interesting. I mean, I probably should look up the documentation for this, but you know, hey, here we are. Look at that. So I can just have that running the whole time. Yeah, this is like an iTerm specific one. I do not like it. Like, I've literally been saying, like, I find it distracting. I don't like that the progress bar shows up there. Because it makes me feel like, the way I described it last night is, I don't feel like the program's telling me it's status output. I feel like iTerm 2 is giving me a status update. Like, this makes sense if iTerm 2 is updating itself. I don't like that a program can influence that bar. It feels like a little bit of an overreach to me. Yo, what's up, Kevin? How you doing? Greetings from Brazil. Love your content. Yo, appreciate it, dude. Welcome, welcome. Hello from Russia. Dude, we got people all over. That's so cool. Are you able to change the color of it? Not that I'm aware of. No, it seemed like there was only progress, comma, good and progress, comma, bad. So, at least in my like testing and looking through the docs, I didn't see anything about like being able to modify the color. Be kind of cool to have a battery indicator like that, I guess. Like, uh-oh, we've fallen below 20, we're at 19. Your battery is now red and it's 19. Oh, your battery's down to like 17. You have to run this on like... Actually, does that persist? No, it's just for that tab. Oh, wow, this is so cool. I didn't realize it shows up here. Okay, that is kind of convenient. I kind of like that. I'll have to mess around with this more. This is really interesting. Hello from Syria. Hello from Algeria. Dude, people all over the place, man. That's awesome. Welcome, welcome. All right. Let's get to working over here. Let's try to remember where we were. This is day 3 of making this project. I think I left a bunch of to-do comments for myself late at night because I wasn't thinking that clearly. Hello, welcome, welcome, welcome everyone. I guess we can add the arbitrary data field and the component string. Let's do that. So we have a component, which will be a string. I can put docs here. Yeah, it's Rust. I keep forgetting. I can annotate them like this. There we go, component. What are some other programs that could be giving us alert? Nagios. Taken from user. There we go. I don't like having to repeat this. Let's do this. Fields generated automatically by the server. There we go. We can cut down on some of this duplication here. And then we can do fields taken from the client. I'll make this optional, but the struct will always have a place for it. We'll make the, when a person creates an event, we'll make it optional. We'll figure out how to do that. We'll just put like a blank object in it, I think. I think that's the way to do it. We'll figure out if that actually makes sense. Hello from Belarus. Dude, welcome, welcome. That's so cool. Naming things is the hardest thing in computer science. Dude, it really is. Like, really, it truly is. Have you ever felt disgusted with code, procrastinating, etc.? I've been feeling this way for a couple of months. I mean, you might just be burned out on coding. You might be burned out on a project you're working on. I've definitely felt that. I have a couple different videos on my channel where I actually talk about burnout if you want to see me talk about that like specifically, because I've dealt with that. It sounds like what you're referring to. All right, let's take a look at what Bad Cop's sending me. What is this? OSC con emu? What is this? If I click this, is it going to open in... great. I get to play a really fun game of, I don't know which browser this chat is through, so I don't know what browser it's going to open it through. Oh, good. And when I copy the text, it doesn't copy it like a link. This is... We live in a nightmare world. There's got to be a better way to do this. I don't know what browser I use to hold the chat open for Twitch. I should figure that out. Oh, yeah. This is just what I was looking at before. Yep, this is the 9,4 OSC, the operating system command for ANSI. So you can do all sorts of things. Inactive, in progress, indeterminate, paused. Okay, I didn't realize pause was a thing. Yeah, Nightmare World is my favorite. Isn't it too late for you over there? Ah, you're unemployed. You're doing something right. Well, thank you, Mr. Twitch. I am unemployed, and I am doing something right. It's also 1 p.m. here. So, no, it's not too late for me. Read the first paragraph, though. All right. ConEmu is an older terminal emulator for Windows, pioneers several custom protocols using OSC 9. Unfortunately, this conflicts with iTerms 2 show desktop notification, which also uses OSC 9. Ghosty attempts to differentiate between the two by trying to find the sub-ID that each ConEmu sequence has, which determines its actual function. When one is not found, a show desktop notification is assumed instead. Oh boy. Because the following protocols are often underspecified at best, highly questionable security-wise at worst, Ghostly only implements the extensions that are listed below. There are many more Ghostly does parts, but either due to security reasons or the fact that Ghostly does not try to be a ConEmu clone. Wow, dude, this sucks. I mean, yeah, this is just legacy on top of legacy on top of legacy. Also, what are you sending to me? Escape sequence 9, hello world. Is that a desktop notification one you sent me? I'm just looking at that one. I feel like that's the one that sends a desktop notification, right? Because the fact that it opens and closes with an escape sequence and not a bell character is kind of tipping my brain in that direction. Let's see. Oh, supposedly this makes a desktop notification. I should have read the rest of your chat. Yeah, I bet it does. Nope. I think you want to close it with a bell, though, don't you? It didn't do... It's not doing it right. Did I copy and paste this wrong? I'm suspect of this. Do you close it with a bell? That didn't do anything. Okay, well that did absolutely nothing. If it does, my terminal is not supporting it, but the fact that it's showing up like this makes me think that something is wrong. Although the desktop notification might be slightly different for iTerm 2, because I've definitely done it in iTerm 2. Semicolon message content here. Yeah, I think you close it with a... I don't trust this. Hold on. I'm just going to use printf. Because sometimes I have weird issues with this. And I think Bad Cop, I think you want to close it with a bell. That might be working. Oh, you know what? think I have notifications disabled on this machine. Not disabled. I have my machine on Do Not Disturb, which is a Mac thing. No recent notifications. Okay, so I don't know. I feel like this should work though, right? This looks right. It remains a mystery. I swear I've done it before. I'll have to test. It could just be a Mac thing not showing up, because I'm not getting any sort of bell or like problem sound. So I'll have to look into that. That's super interesting. All right, let me catch up on chat here. I've been falling behind here. Any idea what backing story you're going to use? None right now. Probably a probably a JSON file on the file system that I read and serialize out. Sounds super boring, but eventually maybe we'll do database support. But for now, I'm just not too worried about it because I don't care about the historical accuracy of all this stuff. Yeah, Ghosty has a change. Yeah, I know on iTerm 2 there is an OSC command to change your current directory. I don't know why you would want that. I just don't understand that. Some of this stuff just makes no sense to me. Please don't add a semicolon after the last field of struct. There's no need. Yeah, there's no need, but it's way nicer. I think it looks way better that way. Because then I can add fields down here and not have to worry about it. Like, I'm a big fan of the languages that allow the trailing commas. I hate that progress bar. I hate that progress bar that Cargo Build does. I might actually turn off the iTerm 2 progress bar. I think it's too much. I don't really like it at all. JSON value is not found in the scope. Probably because I called it Saturday value. It should be JSON value. Missing component and data. That makes sense. Component will be, I guess we'll just take it from the payload that we take in. Normally miss you live as I'm in the UK, love watching your videos, have done some basic and Pascal in the past, and I'm an old git now. Well, welcome. I appreciate you being here. Yeah, I'm streaming a little bit earlier than I normally do. Time to install a real terminal instead. Dude, I gotta mess around with this, because I've definitely done desktop notifications with OSC commands, but it might just be different than 9. I'll have to double check that, because it's so... I've definitely done it before. I haven't done Rust in forever, mostly because I'm bad at it, but I'll try using it for something. Yeah, I don't know. I like Rust. I think it's really cool. All right. We have a message, a level. We should do this in the same order. Pub component, string, level, message, pub data will be... I have to think about how I want to do this. I might want to enforce this. No, it should just be arbitrary, right? Like, let's just think about how this should be. It should be an option of a JSON value. It literally should just be anything. And if it's nothing, we could put null in there. Yeah. We'll figure that out. Sick of these kids in the terminal emulators. Back in my day. Dude, so true. Is there a reason why your struct fields are pub when the struct themselves are not pub? No, not real. There's no real reason for that at all. That's just habit because I'm used to working in code bases that are everything's kind of shared all over the place. So, like in my mind, this event struct could be shared between like a client and a server, and it will eventually be like that. So I'll eventually toss a public in front of it. It doesn't make sense for it now. But no, this is just because of like we're in the process of building something. I think eventually this will be pulled out of the main file because I will also want to make a CLI tool in the same repository. So for now, they're all in the same file, so scoping is pretty easy. But once we start pulling things out, then we'll have to start adding some more pubs. Payload.component and data. Data will be payload.data. Is this, can I do an unwrap or default on a JSON value? I think you might be able to. Will it just give me null? I would assume it would just give me null. So let me do this. Cargo run. Let's go over here and let's post something to it. We have a message foo. Let's do this, actually. Dev event server. Let's do this. Event. Let's do simple.json. Let's make our own event here so we can just kind of look at it easily. The level will be debug. The component will be CLI. And the message will be hello there from the simple JSON file. And the data will be omitted for now, and we'll just see what that looks like. So we should be able to cat simple JSON. Actually, how do we do curl with a -- JSON flag? I should look that up. Let me pause. Let me take a look at chat real quick. Bro, I'm trying to learn NVim and I absolutely suck at it. Any tips to learn? Hey, I'll be working on a Vim course, but there's no guarantee of when that'll come out. That won't be for months. So no, I don't have any advice up until then. I always have the same question for talented devs like you. Why not build something that makes you money, like something with AI now? I know programming performance is great, but why not build something monetizable? I've thought about it. I don't want to have to maintain anything. That's really what it comes down to. Like, I don't know. Because I would turn what I like into a job. If I had to build something I had to maintain, I think it'd be like a full-time job that I have to focus on. And don't get me wrong, I think it could be fun. I think working on this stuff for myself would be way more fun than working for an employer. But like, honestly, I don't know what kind of thing I'd want to build. What kind of, like, if I want to build a SaaS, what does that even look like? I don't want to have to be responsible for it when it goes down. I don't want to have to do really much of anything. So that's the one thing that kind of holds me back. And from also, I don't even know what I'd want to build. Like, my goal isn't to maximize my money. Like, that's just really not my goal. So like, I don't need to just lean in and make some sort of AI first nonsense. So like, I don't know. I just don't have any real reason to. If I could think of a cool idea, like, I'll host this event server for you and you can post arbitrary JSON to it and it's end-to-end encrypted. Maybe, I don't know. Because like, people would definitely pay for someone else to host their stuff, which I totally get. So, I don't know. I don't really have a good answer to that. Bad cop, that's a terrible example. Because, listen, if I'm drinking Coke, why not throw some Captain in it? You know what I mean? But at that point, might as well just be at the casino. All right. So we have our simple thing. Let me look through the curl docs real quick for -- JSON, because this is a relatively new flag. It takes data. Can I just give it the file? Read the file from standard in at hyphen. There we go. Easy enough. So curl -ss - wait, does -- JSON assume post? I wonder if it assumes post. Let's find out. -- JSON at hyphen. Actually, we just do at simple.json localhost 3000 events. Wow, okay, it does assume post. That's really, really cool. So we have created a new event. Let's go ahead and get those events now. Pipe it to JQ, and there we go. We have this new event. An ID, create a timestamp, component CLI, level is debug, hello there from the simple JSON file, and the data is null. Cool, awesome, that's good. We've got null data there. That means I can also post something that has that. So let's do this. Actually, can we do this? Can I cat simple JQ? How do you add a field with JQ? If I could just add like the data field, it'd be super nice. I think you can just do like dot plus. I'm making up syntax. I'm totally making up syntax. I completely made up the syntax. There's no way that works. Yeah, I did something wrong. There's gotta be a way to add this data, merge it together. Can you do this? Oh my God, I'm a legend. I'm a legend, dude. That's incredible. So if we do this, and then we pipe that into curl --JSON this localhost 3000 events. Failed to deserialize JSON body in the target string foo, expected struct create event payload. Interesting. Why would it do that? Oh, because I'm using the plus sign. I used the wrong one. I have to change this plus sign to that pipe. There we go. Okay. Now let's re-get our events. Oh yeah, I can read this. And now we have a data as foo. Cool. So we take an arbitrary thing. That's super cool. Can we just put other things like this, like 1, 2, 3? Huh. That's cool. Awesome. So we take an arbitrary data. We don't have any sort of size limitation on this. We kind of let people post whatever they want. So maybe we put some sort of size limitation on it. Maybe Axum does that. So let's do this. Let's make a readme .markdown and yada yada yada. Fill that in later. Concerns. Limit post size. There we go. That's our one concern so far. Okay, more serious answer. Programming is like 10% of this at most. The other 90% is business garbage that I don't enjoy. That's kind of how I feel. That's why I quit and just kind of focus on this. This isn't the most lucrative thing I've ever done, content creation. I don't make nearly as much doing content creation as I did working as an engineer, but it's infinitely more fun. So I'm just going to do this for as long as I can and then probably go back to having a job because you have to have it. That's kind of how I feel about it. Don't think you saw it, but iNotify is what you need, I think. iNotify, isn't that the Linux kernel subsystem for watching for file changes? What is iNotify? iNotify is for watching for file changes by path on Linux, isn't it? I think it is. Yeah, because epull is if you have file descriptors. iNotify is for watching by path name, I think. I don't know. I don't know what that's in relation to, what you're saying that in relation to. Hello, Dave Eddy. Yo, what's up, Sleeping Insomniac? How you doing? Welcome. I'm watching your stream because I'm sick as hell and home from work, but too sick to think about my own programs. Dude, I feel that. I've definitely been there. I hope you feel better. But I know that feeling where it's like, well, I want to do this, but my brain's not working good enough, so I gotta just like sit down and chill for a bit. The plus totally works. Dot plus. Oh, interesting. Oh, okay. Plus I just have to give it the actual object I want to merge it with. Interesting. Is the code for this somewhere? I just joined. I have no idea what you're working on. Yeah, it's on GitHub. I don't know if I have a link to it anywhere, but the code is git remote show origin. It's on GitHub. Here it is. User Bahamas 10. The code name is event server. Now, I'm not taking pull requests at this time. We're just building this on stream, but yeah. Oh, my phone was on. There's an Indonesian girl that is not a tech person. Her boyfriend taught her how to vibe code, and she created an app that generates 800 USD monthly recurring revenue. So what's stopping us tech bros from making money? Nothing. Who's stopping you from making money? Go make money. Go do that. Nothing's stopping you. What's stopping me is lack of desire. Money's not the thing that I orient my entire life around. I orient a lot of it around it, but not my entire life. I don't know. I don't have any interest in that. I make more from YouTube ad revenue than that. So, like, I'm actually more incentivized to make videos and stuff. But yeah, the idea of not being a tech person and vibe coding something that makes me money doesn't sit well with me. I wouldn't enjoy that. But don't think I'm some holier than thou person who's on high when it comes to that. Like, I wouldn't enjoy that, but I'll go to the casino and gamble money. So I'm not like, the arbiter of morality when it comes to money like that. I'll submit 8,000 PRs. How much sugar do you consume? Well, great question. 0 sugar here. Now, how much aspartame do I consume? That's a way different story. Not very much sugar. Like truly not very much. Every soda I drink is 0 sugar. I might get an iced tea and I get the unsweetened iced tea. Excuse me. All right. What are we doing here? We're getting sidetracked. Cool. So now, let's do a cargo build. Cargo clippy. So we should allow arbitrary JSON in there. Nice. write the event to our internal ring buffer to make this a ring buffer. I guess we should do that now. Because right now we have an internal vec of all the events, and we probably should serialize this out to disk. We want to turn this vec into a ring buffer. And I think we just want a dec, or a DQ, or whatever they're called. I think that's all we need. Because Rust has this thing called a vec deck. I want to say DQ, but I think it's just vec deck. A double-ended queue implemented with a growable ring buffer. So that's exactly what we want. Default use of this type is to queue is to push back to add the queue and pop front to remove from the queue. Extend and append push onto the back in this manner, and iterating over vec deck goes from front to back. Okay. So I think that's what we want. We push new events on. Yeah, like a new event, and then we pop front to remove from the queue. Is there a way to just... Does Rust just have a simple ring buffer? Like, that would be ideal if I could just, like, not have to constantly check the bounds of it. It's not the end of the world if I have to, but, like, does it just have a ring buffer already implemented? Like, I just want to be able to push something and then have it handle if the size is too big. Just gonna search for Rust ring buffer. There's a ring buff crate. But I think we can just do it with vec deck. Push back and pop front. Okay. I'm trying to think. I guess we only push it back in one place. Let's just try it and let's see what it does. Standard collections. Use standard. Oh, you can't see my screen. Standard collections. Vec deck. There we go. The ring crate is definitely not what you're looking for. Ring. I remember pulling in the ring crate for something. My brain keeps telling me it was like SSL related. But yeah, either way. All right, let's do this. Vec deck. And then we will make this event, well, instead of a vec, it'll be a vec deck. And then where we do this, we will push front, no, push back. There we go. And let's just make sure everything works as we expect it to. Expected a vec, found a vec deck. Can we convert one into the other? Yeah, I was willing to bet there'd be some sort of like into, because we've already done a clone. We could do... Yeah, here we go. Events.clone. There we go. We put a new vec in here. Let's make this. Our initial events will be there we go. That looks good. What was that? Orb.json orb commands? Oh my god, was that from the Cinecore thing that I just pulled that history from? That's wild if so. Okay. Let's put another event there. We can still see both events. The later timestamp one shows up later, like towards the bottom of it. That's good. And then we would want to delete things from the front as they grow too big. So that's a simple thing to do. Dave, what programming languages do you use /no other than Rust? Well, Bash. I'm pretty well known for Bash. Besides that, I would say probably just C, definitely some JavaScript, but my JavaScript is outdated at this point. So this will be to do, make this config / CLI args. Max events equal, let's say 5. We won't allow more than 5 events. This number will be way bigger, but we're using 5 to test. Because, oh no, this is stupid. We'll have to store this somewhere. We need like some sort of globally accessible config. I guess we put it in the app state, right? I miss global variables. I like global variables. Let's do this. Struct config. We will do max events as a U size. And then this will also get the config, which will be a config. Now, will this just compile? We need to derive clone in it, of course. Okay. There we go. Okay, nice. Now we have the max configs, or max events in our config file, so we can take that and we can use that where we push onto the vecdeck. So shrink the ring buffer here if it is too big. There might be a cleaner way to do this, but if events.len equal state.config.max events greater than while the amount of events that we have is greater than the max events, then we should do a events dot pop one of the directions front, I think we can do this. We might have to do this, but I think we can do that. Been writing a lot of C. Okay, I think that works. Do you speak any foreign languages? Nope, I do not. I mean, I learned a little bit of Spanish growing up, but I don't remember any of it. Yeah. Instead of storing the number of events in the app state, you could make a wrapper on the vecdeck that stores the information. That way the logic for shrinking the buffer would be nicely encapsulated. Yeah, I might have to do something like that. Because it doesn't really make sense for it to be in the app state. Like, I think ideally we would have some sort of smarter data structure that wraps a vecdeck, and when you create it with the max size. We'll look into that. I would say, let's add a note for that. But I think this will work right now. So if I do a cargo run here, let's do for I in 1. Here we go. It's really messy to read, but let's go ahead and post 10 new events. curl-sx, we don't need post here. We'll curl the message, which is I, the level, the debug, and we need a component of foo. And this should return the UUID, so we can do jq.message. There we go. So we just curled 10 events into the event server. So now let's go ahead and get them back. There we go. And if this works, we should have the last 5. Hey, this is beautiful. Look at this. So it might be a little hard to tell what's going on here, but you can see that we have event 6 here, 7, and then we have 8, 9, and 10. So of the 10 events that we posted, we've kept the last 5 because we have max events set to 5. So that's cool. We have a ring buffer now that works. Does calling.len on it, is that slow? I have no idea. Probably not. I think it stores the length separately. I'd have to double check that, but yeah. Yeah, global variables are cool. There's a lot of network infrastructure. I work on Cisco-based nowadays, and while since worked with Linux-based network hardware. It's cool stuff, man. Yeah, I love global variables, but like, they're totally like cheating. I totally get that. I understand like why you wouldn't want them, but like, dude, I love global variables, man. It's my program. It's my memory. Okay, I should be able to access my memory in my program. Every variable should be global. Listen, I have a great language for you. It's called Bash. Perfect. I guess we could do this one next. Let's reuse the same timestamp. So we make a UUID v7, and we have the timestamp here, and we use now underbar v7. I think we can use new underbar v7, and we can figure out how to do it, because now it's not 1 a.m., so I have a renewed sense of ability. Yo, what's up, Bob? Now, how you doing? Welcome. Yeah, it's been a while, but I'm glad you're here now. Declared SG just to be safe. Alright, so we have now underbar v7, which we're using, but I think we want new underbar v7, which takes a timestamp. And this timestamp is from the UUID crate. So we need to do a timestamp from either Unix or Unix time. I don't know the difference. Construct a timestamp from a Unix timestamp up to a 128-bit counter. Construct a timestamp from a Unix timestamp and up to a 128-bit counter. Like, what is actually the difference here? Seconds, subseconds, counter. And then we have context. Okay, I don't even know what some of this stuff is. But that's how little I know about time stuff. It's so interesting. And by interesting, I mean annoying. I wish it was easier. What is this? Counter? Usable counter bits? Like, I don't actually even know what these are. I was watching your VOD from last night's stream, and then I see you are live. Hopefully I don't get spoiled for the VOD. Yeah, you might get a little bit of spoiling, but I mean, it's still just a fun process, I would say, during the whole thing. What happens here? I feel like I'm missing something here. Like a deep understanding of how time is stored in programs is what I'm missing. No context. Sure. What is this context type? It's like keeping track of something to not have collisions, I'm wondering? I don't know. Okay, so if we do it this way, we won't have ordering within the same millisecond. I think I'm okay with that. I don't actually care if events are, millisecond resolution. I think I'll survive that. So if we do from Unix time, we can pass in an empty context, which is a seconds and a sub-seconds nano. Now we have a timestamp, which is from UTC datetime. So we can do that. We can clean this up later, but I think we can do timestamp from Unix. And this takes the context, the seconds, and the sub-second nanos. So no context will go here. We'll have to actually properly give that a full path. And then we have to give it seconds and sub-seconds nano. So we have to go look at our timestamp thing, which was here in the time crate. And then we have to figure out how to get the seconds and the nanoseconds. So we have the dot second. That's not what we want. This is super annoying to have to convert between the two. I mean, this might not even be worth it, really, because, like, who cares about the IDs? But it should probably be good. Well, hold on. We have a Unix timestamp and a Unix timestamp nanos function here. So it seems like these are exactly what we want. Unix timestamp, oh, that has nanos embedded in an I-28. So Unix timestamp, and is there more? Is there another way to get nanos? Nanosecond. Perfect. Okay. So let's see if we can make this work. I think we can do no context here. We can do ts.unix timestamp. Is that what it's called? Unix timestamp, and then ts.nanos. Nanosecond. This should, well, it's going to fail because of no context. It's going to fail because of a mismatched delimiter. Nice, nice, nice. Okay, we're getting close there. Morning, Eddie, longtime YouTube subscriber, even longer Bash user. Yo, welcome, welcome. Finally seeing a live session with you, except those crazy Christmas ones. Wow, then you have been that's awesome that you're catching up, because yeah, that was a while ago. That was a while ago, is what I'm trying to say. Do you like Eddie or Mr. Eddie? Just call me Dave. I don't prefer either of those. Is this room some kind of loft room? I can never tell from the perspective. No, it's just my living room. All right, so this looks nicer. We have no context. We need to find out where that no context thing was created. So it takes a clock sequence. The context is something that implements clock sequence, and we can give it a no context because I've seen that in the example. So let's just do this. UUID, timestamp, context, no context. Beautiful. Let's go back here. Let's just rewrite it from hand, because who cares? Okay, and the final thing here. UUID, timestamp. I think just that. Expected U64, found I64. Are you kidding me? Oh my god, that's so funny. Why is it returning an I64? That's interesting. Nanoseconds, I thought you used Vim. Dude, get out of here. That's an interesting conundrum. There's got to be way easier ways to do this, because times can be from before 1970. Yeah, agreed. I'm wondering what is giving me the U64. Why is there a mismatch? Why is this? Yeah, see, this one takes a U64. Why is it? That's so confusing to me. Maybe there's just something obvious I'm missing here, but like what? I don't understand why this one's a U64. I expect it to be I64. UUID wants a U64 just cast unless you run a server with very wrong time. Yeah, see, it's so interesting. I might have to look up why that's the case. Unix timestamps are signed. They absolutely can be negative. Yeah. Did I say, a lot of you guys are saying, did I say something wrong? Like, I would expect it to be signed. I would expect it to be an I64. I'm confused as to why it's a U64. Like, I definitely know we can go, was it 70 some years into the future and 70 some years in the past from 1970. If it's making a UUID from timestamp, we're never going to be making UUIDs before 1970. Say, I would also assume that maybe you possibly could, but I don't actually know. Like, there might be some weirdness with V7 UUIDs. Like, this is all new to me, so who knows? I also don't care. Yeah, see, this one's a U64. All the time stuff is I64, I mean. And then this one just, it takes a U64. That's so interesting. Yeah, both U64s. I'll have to look into this, I think, because I'm not fully understanding what's going on here. Yeah, I guess we could just try casting it for now, because it really doesn't. Like, at the end of the day, none of this stuff that I'm working on really matters here, because like, I don't actually care about these IDs. The UUID spec says they are unsigned and get truncated to 48 bits. Okay, thank you. Yes, that is helpful. That makes a lot of sense now. That's so interesting. That makes sense, because the time crate's always outputting a signed integer, and the UUID thing is really expecting a unsigned integer. So there's got to be, like, it seemed like that was where the mismatch was. So that's good. And it compiles, so we know it's safe to run. Cool. And these IDs look fine to me. I guess we could test that. I could list all of them, JQ-R. What do you do, like this? Dot ID. Let's pipe that into dot ID dot created dot message. Nice. And then we can pipe that to tab separated values. So now we have this. If I sort them, perfect. So if I sort the first field, then they sort 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, which is really nice. So they're sorting based on timestamp here, which is really, really nice. So that's cool to know. And if we do it backwards, we should get 10, 9. Okay, perfect. So that's working. That's working how we expect it to be working. There's nothing in here. All right, what else do we have? What else do we have going on here? I guess we should clean up some stuff now. We have UUID timestamp from Unix, UUID timestamp context, no context. These all look fine to me. Right to our ring buffer. Dispatch this new event to an exec queue. We don't have anything like that yet. That is fine. We don't have the event string, and we don't take any sort of arguments or config. That is fine by me. What should we work on next? Let me think. I guess, you know what? Let's start pulling this out into libraries. Even though we don't have everything I actually want yet here, let's start pulling this out into libraries so we can make a CLI. Because I think ideally we would have source bin, and then we would have source bin, I don't know, we'll just call it event. We're literally just going to call it events. No, that's going to interfere with the server name. We call it event server. Okay, so we have event server, and well, the naming is up to, the naming will change eventually. Source bin events.rs. There we go. So I think if I do this, it's going to yell at me because there's no default run. Yeah, look at that. Let's go ahead and add that. Is it just a default run equals event server, I think? Now if I run cargo run, it'll just work. Perfect. So we can have that running over here. Now we have to make our own client. And the client will need to actually do some things like be able to list events and get events. So we're going to need request to request HTTP stuff. So this is the library I'm talking about, request. It's a Rust library, it does like HTTP calls, stuff like that. So this will be super easy for us to use. We may want the blocking or non-blocking API. I don't know. I mean, we're not gonna be doing too much async work. We might need the non-blocking to do an event stream, but for now we can use the blocking API. So yeah, we'll use the request crate here. And let's go ahead and pull that in, I guess. So we can do cargo, add, request. And then there might be some stuff that we need. I guess JSON's in there. So we might need JSON, and we might need the blocking API for now. There we go. Let's build that. All right, let's do this. I do want to build a client, but that's fine. Let's just get something working. I'm literally pulling this. I'm actually, you know what? Here, I'm just going to copy and paste this directly from their example, and then we can just modify it as needed. So there we go. Let's change that to, again, we'll have to make all this configurable and stuff like that. Maybe a config file that this reads from, But yeah, and then we pull the text, and then we do body equals that. Ugh, I hate this syntax. I'll never get used to this syntax. I like this so much better. Wait, what's wrong with this? Oh, because we're using the question marks here to return something, it expects us to actually return something. So we should probably return a result of nothing. We should use anyhow result just because I'm used to anyhow. We might pull in a different crate, but for now, cargo add anyhow. And then we can just return success here. This will allow us to use the question mark operator and return from the main method. The stream feature flags on it seem kind of SSE related. Yeah, I'm wondering about that too. I saw that flag. I was like, I wonder what that actually is. I'm gonna use clap. Don't worry. Yeah, we're gonna be doing CLI parsing, CLI argument parsing. Cool. So now, if we change this to /ping, then we should get pong. Hey, that looks good. And if we change this to /events, then we should get an array of all the events. Nice, and it's an empty array. That's really cool. So let's change this to JSON, and I think it'll yell at me because I think it'll want a type. Yeah, we need a type annotation here. This should return a vec of, let's just say, Saturday JSON value. So we could put Saturday JSON value for the whole thing, but this just basically enforces that we get an array back. Nice, okay. So we have an array there. Let's go ahead and post some stuff up there. There we go. Look at that. Cool. We have them up there. Now, we need to do the fun part. We need to pull out the event struct and put that into some shared library code so both of these things can pull from it. So we have our source, we have our main.rs. What do we need? Do we need mod or lib.rs? I can never remember which one actually makes sense here. I think it's lib.rs because we want to share library code between the two. I think that's what we need. But yeah, lib, I think it's lib too, right? So let's just pull this out into lib.rs. We're going to be really janky here, but let's pull this out into lib.js, and this will be the stuff that we'll share between the two. So the event level, and we'll make this pub. Then the event itself, we'll make that pub. And then the create event payload eventually, but we're not there yet. So there we go. We just have this stuff up here. Let's do a cargo build and just see what happens. You're right, a lot of unused imports. That makes sense because we're not using a vectec, we're not using the arc and the read write lock here. We're not using any of this stuff really. There we go. Nice. So now let's update our main.rs to use that library code. And I think now, okay, I have to remember how to do this. Is it self? Can we use self or super? Let's get rid of some of the stuff down here. Event and event level are what we abstracted. So let's delete them from here. Self, event, and event level. We might have to use the name of the crate. I don't remember now. Just kind of winging it here. Oh, we're not even using serialize in there. That's funny. Yeah, crate : : I think you might be right. Because there's so many of them. There's super, but super I don't think will work because self didn't work. And crate should work. But because we're using lib, do we have to use the name of it? Because none of these seem to work. Crate didn't seem to work either. Although, it's looking in the root. I don't have to do this, do I? That worked. That worked by using the name of our own crate. Is there a cleaner way to do this? It seems kind of lame to have to use our own crate name, because if I change it, obviously it's load bearing. I thought crate would have worked for this, but yeah, I think if you use lib, you have to use name. I think so too. seems lame. I mean, it works. Don't get me wrong. I'm not like upset or anything. It's fine. But like, it seems like there should be a better way to do that. Use, I guess this is the same thing, right? Use event server event here. And now this is a vec of event. Here, let's rerun this just to make sure. Nice. Let's make 10 new events. Let's post them. And look at this. That is huge. That's awesome. That's really cool, actually. So if we change this to this, get rid of the body equals. Beautiful. Look at this. Do you know what this means? This means that Rust understands these objects. Our Rust client was able to get these objects and turn them back into their structs. So it's just going through an HTTP interface here. That is beautiful. That is incredible. That is amazing. Awesome. Yeah, I think crate doesn't work since the bins technically get their own namespace separate from the lib. Yeah, I think so too. I think that's the case. And I remember being like, I wish there was a better way to do this, but there's probably some good reason from some very smart people why that's not the case. I just don't know what it is. So if someone could explain it to me, that'd be dope. But for now, this works. That's beautiful. We have abstracted some code out into a library now. So that is really, really cool. Wow, nice. Should probably do this, huh? Basic syslog-inspired event server service. And then put it under the MIT license. How old are my dot files on here? Pretty old. Okay. Yeah, that's why. There we go. Basic syslog inspired event server service. Pretty, it's an awful mouthful, but here we are. If you want to make the naming more independent, you could declare the lib in your cargo.toml explicitly and give it a stable name, but it's kind of annoying. Oh, okay, interesting. That's interesting, okay. So at least the name just exists in that place then. Yeah, I just remember when I've written code that has both library code and a CLI with it, I've always ran into weird situations like this. Not a big deal, but that's just how it is. But that's because my default run is a server and my other bin is a CLI. So it's not wrong, it's just that's just how it was created. Okay, so this is huge. This is awesome. Let's go ahead. All right, I think this is all I want to work on today. I'm going to go ahead and add some notes to do. CLI support posting, creating events, serializing events, or caching events to disk, reading events from disk on startup. So being able to cache to the disk and then read from the disk when it starts up, I think would be nice. Just to have the last like X events there would be kind of nice. Create event stream interface, support running an arbitrary program when new event is fired. So that's another thing I want to do. When an event comes in, I want to also take that event and put it into like a queue and then have that queue go through and run a script. So I would like to be able to do something like, you know, cargo run this program. And then I want to be able to say like, you know, listen on localhost 3000 max events. I only want to store 25 events, and then the ring buffer circulates. This could all be in a config, obviously. And then I want to be able to say like exec file my script. So then whenever there's a new event, this program will execute the program called my script, and it will give it the information from the event, maybe as like environment variables or something. So then we can just run an arbitrary script whenever an event is received. So for my own home service, I can make decisions like, oh, if the event came from this and its severity is high enough, I'll send a notification to my phone. But for you guys might want something else. So I figured just execute a random script and then you can put whatever logic you want there instead of having to put it all in the Rust world. So that's a good to do. I think that makes sense. And yeah, that's probably it for now. Let me go ahead and commit this stuff. Let's push that up. Hello from Oz. How you going, Dave? Yo, welcome, welcome. Dude, I love that we have people from all over the world joining us. Dude, we're chilling. We're writing some code. It's a lot of fun. Galaxy tab. Core utils in Ubuntu 26.04 is now Rust. Okay. What about -save event? David added also. Dude, what are you talking about? I don't know. I have no idea what you're talking about. First of all, it's Dave, not David. But what do you... I don't even know what you're talking about. Please let the Rust cult go their own way and stay with Bash and C. You are too good to do Rust. That's a weird comment to say, man. I like programming in whatever language I want to program in. I don't care what other people are doing. So if there's a cult of personality when it comes to any language, I don't care. I do what I want to do, and I don't let my opinions get swayed by what others are doing. So yeah, I'm going to write Rust because I like Rust. I'm going to write C because I like C. And I'm going to write Bash because I like Bash. I'm going to use Linux because Linux is cool. I'm going to use Illumos because Illumos is cool. I have my qualms with all of them. I have issues with Rust. I have issues with C. I have issues with Linux. Like, yeah. Having events trigger a command seems potentially dangerous. I mean, sure. Yeah. I mean, you got to make sure the command is safe. Like, I would say that's outside of the scope of the event server. And this would be configurable in your config. So if you want to run this at home, you just don't set the exec file thing and it won't execute anything. So you could make it very simple. Like, I want to be able to make this program so if you want to, you can just run it where the things live ephemeral in memory. Nothing ever touches disk and nothing ever gets executed. If you want to optionally save the JSON file to disk and have it read back, hey, you can add that functionality. If you want to have it execute a script when an event comes in, hey, you can add that functionality, but that won't be the default. The default will be completely ephemeral in memory. Nothing will get executed. Nothing will get done. So yeah. Started earlier this year with Linux and some programming as a hobby, and holy, I understand nothing. That's fine. Just keep doing it. You'll learn more, man. Like, don't worry about it. Like, if it's a hobby, then do it because it's fun. Cool. All right. Well, thank you everyone for hanging out. I enjoyed the stream. It was a lot of fun. I like writing code on stream. So I appreciate you all for hanging out. I'm probably going to call it a stream here, jump off, and I don't know, go do something. It's a nice, beautiful day out. Maybe I'll just go hang out outside. So, oh yeah, what's up, Random Logic? How you doing? Welcome, welcome. Yeah, so thank you. Thank you for joining the stream. I appreciate it. It's nice seeing everyone. And yeah, that's all I got. So that's it. Have a nice day, everyone. I'll see you guys. Take care.